is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're going to look at the Nokia Lumia 810. It's available on T-Mobile. It's pretty similar to the 822 on Verizon that we looked at, also the 820 on AT&T. A little bit more of a blocky, brickish style here, though. Style is probably not the reason why most of you are going to buy this, but there's a lot of value in this handset. We're going to look at it now. So the Nokia Lumia 810, available on T-Mobile, came out at $150 with contract. Now on their website's down to $99, making it even more appealing versus the HTC 8X, which is certainly a lovely phone. That one's $199 and it's stuck at $199 with contract. So for those of you who are worried about the upfront fees, which I always say isn't the most important part because you're going to pay a lot for over the life of the contract to your carrier every month, but still, it's a lot of good phone for the money. Runs Windows Phone 8, latest greatest operating system for Microsoft, the one that's caught a lot of people's attention because there's so many good improvements in it, and hopefully you've watched some of our other Windows 8 phone videos and you're aware of what's going on with that. But you can see we have the live tile interface here, not unlike Windows 8 for desktops as well. Very fast, very responsive. It's got the same Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Crate dual-core 1.5 GHz CPU that you're going to find in other Windows phones, again, like the 8X, also like the Nokia Lumia 920, which is Nokia's flagship phone, that ironically is cheaper. It's $99 on contract with AT&T, because AT&T subsidizes their phones more heavily. In fact, T-Mobile may move away from subsidizing smartphones altogether and just keep your plan pricing lower. I'm not sure if it's going to fly with Americans, because everybody just likes a cheap upfront price, but we'll see. Anyway, performance here just as good as it is on any other Windows Phone 8 device. Very responsive, and Windows Phone 7 in fact was responsive on the much slower Qualcomm single-core CPUs that were available there, because it's a very well optimized operating system. UI never lags, apps launch quickly. Definitely good stuff there for those of you who like a snappy phone, every bit as snappy as the iPhone, if not even snappier sometimes. Because we have live tiles here, you can see we have little indicators. You don't have to run to your little apps or run widgets. The idea with Microsoft is they are trying to come up with a way to give you information without resorting to widgets, and also beat the iPhone, whose notifications obviously are not so super strong when you're just turning on a device and looking at that grid of icons. Right here you can see I've got 1 missed call. I have 6 email messages waiting. If there were any updates in the Windows Phone Store for me, there would be a number there. And then there are various other things. You can add Windows weather on here, weather bug or the weather channel, whatever you want, get some live updates. You can see I have a social networking application right here. It tells me I have 91 new things to take a look at there. Busy day in social networking. So, good operating system for actually getting stuff done, but it's pretty intuitive to use, and that's Windows Phone 8. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time reviewing Windows Phone 8 itself, but more the device. If we take a look at right here, we see a 4.3-inch ClearBlack Nokia AMOLED display. It has a polarizing filter, so it's actually relatively easy to see outdoors. It avoids some of the glare of the sun, and it does indeed work. You can read the display pretty easily outdoors. It doesn't look as good as it does indoors, but it's still good. Like the higher-end Lumia 920, it has a screen that actually works with fingernails and with gloves. Now, it may not be as responsive as it is with just your bare finger, but it actually really does work. And I'm going to use my fingernail to scroll. And now it is indeed scrolling. You can see I got a big nail right there. I'm just trying to use just that and nothing else. You can set the screen sensitivity, by the way, if you find it actually too sensitive for you, which I don't think most people will. If we take a look around the phone, this is a blocky phone. This is a phone that doesn't really have much style. It is just a rectangle. That's what it is. I think Nokia really does some interesting things with design, certainly with the Lumia 920, with the Lumia 800. Those phones, they put all their attention into their flagship phone, and they kind of make you feel like a second-class citizen with their less expensive phones in terms of design. So that's a shame. Straight edges, not trying to hide the thickness of the phone. It is fairly thick. Take a look at the back. You can see we have a nice Carl Zeiss 8-megapixel camera back here, Carl Zeiss lens, LED flash, soft touch black finish. Shows some fingerprint oil, but not too bad. Nothing to look at. Not offensive either, though. On this side here we have our volume rocker, and that's our power button, and there's our dedicated camera button, which is a standard Windows Phone feature. And our speaker grills and micro USB port are here. Now, one of the reasons why this guy is thick is because you can actually take the back off. Isn't that refreshing? So for those of you who want to be able to swap a new battery in, you just grab it by that micro USB port and yank until it comes off. Not the easiest thing to do. There's no pry hole like there is on the Verizon version of the phone. Take it off. Here's our 1800 milliamp battery. That's a pretty capacious battery for a phone with this CPU and this screen size, and since we don't have LTE on board to suck power, really I've been getting 2 days of use from it. The little slots right here are stacked up on top of each other. The lower one is the micro SIM card slot, and on top is a micro SD card slot. So expandable storage, also a pretty nice feature to have right there, and something that the 8X doesn't offer you. And it's a good thing too, because this only has 8 gigs of internal storage. So if you want to carry a lot of music with you, a lot of videos, you're going to want to use a micro SD card, because with an 8 gig phone, you end up with about 5.5 gigs free for your use, and you're going to want to save that space for installing some applications probably. We take a look at the back here. We have NFC plate built in and some contacts. Now this is the standard bag. It does not support Qi wireless charging. You have to pay extra for that. And T-Mobile lists available with the Nokia charging pillow pad, which is a Qi-based charger. You could use Energizers or anybody you want, but that one comes with an alternate back. However, on T-Mobile's website, they don't actually show it as available for sale. I'm not sure if that's in stores yet or not, but wireless charging is optional. To put it back on, you just clip it right back on, and this is what the phone looks like naked sides showing. And there are the little button actuators that are actually underneath the button covers that are on the lid. In addition to T-Mobile HSPA+, which they call 4G, we think of it as fast 3G. Nonetheless, in our area, actually, it is pretty quick. We see as fast as 11 megabit per second down, about 1.5 up, since they limit upload speeds versus download speeds. Good voice quality on the phone, has a standard Windows Phone dialer. Nothing too exciting to see there, it just gets the job done. Big, easy dialer to use. You have access to your call history, contacts, and other useful things. Clear call quality, easy to understand on both ends. Nokia generally does a good job with that. We also have dual band Wi-Fi, 802.11bgn, Bluetooth 2.1 plus EDR. NFC is built in for sharing files, and we have a GPS that works with Nokia's excellent mapping application, which is one of the value added here. Map application, their drive application, their transit application for those of you who use mass transit. That's a big selling point here, because Bing Maps does not offer spoken turn-by-turn directions, just on-screen directions. So you either have to pay for whatever service your carrier offers, download a third-party app, which is generally going to cost you money either for the app or for the service. But here it's free, and you can even download maps for offline use, and it works pretty well. So certainly a selling point for the Nokia phones. And now for comparison, we have it with the red Nokia Lumia 920 here, a 4.5-inch display. Not really much of a difference in size in terms of footprint there. That's interesting. And of course the backs are going to look way different, because the 920 focuses on that amazing polycarbonate colorful look, and we just got the basic black here. And here we have it with the HTC 8X. This one happens to be in blue, obviously. Certainly a more eye-catching and stylish phone, this one here, but it's also more expensive up front too. If we compare the backs and the taper over here, so a lot of high styling for the 8X. Definitely more attractive phone, also a lighter phone, a little bit perhaps easier to hold, though the buttons are actually not that easy to use on the 8X. And lastly, we're comparing it with the Verizon Nokia Lumia 822 here. Really, these are basically the same phones, but Verizon has done a little bit more with the styling. They've curved it. You can see the edges are curvy. There's a little curve up on the side. There's a little curve up on the chin over here. And a kind of rounded back. But beyond that, this guy has 16 gigs of storage. Pretty much similar otherwise. Obviously it has LTE because it's on Verizon. Otherwise, the same phone with rounded corners. Now taking a look at some of Nokia's custom software, this is Nokia Music, which we like. You also get the standard music player and video players that come with every Windows 8 phone that integrate with Xbox Live service. If you want to buy music, you can do that. If you get videos, right now you can't for some reason stream them down to the phone using Xbox player, but hopefully that'll change. Anyway, Nokia Music right here. If you choose My Music, it's actually going to take you to the regular Windows Phone interface for that. But the cool thing here is Mix Radio, which is free streaming music. And you can see you can choose from seasonal things like Christmas music. There are mixes. You can pick your own stuff, pick your own genre. It's pretty nice. We'll just take a look at Christmas, since it's Christmas time. And we'll pick some songs here, and it gives us a couple of playlist options. Country music, R&B, indie Christmas, Christmas hits, Christmas oldies. We'll go with indie Christmas. And you can actually save these playlists. So if you like them, then you can store them and then fire them up at any time that you want. And there it is, all free of charge. And if that tune doesn't float your boat, you can hit the next song button and give the next song a try. The 8 megapixel camera on back is very capable. Nokia puts out some nice camera phones, and this one does a good job. It's not up to the Lumia 920's 8.7 megapixel quality. It doesn't have optical image stabilization, but still, it's certainly every bit as good as the 8X's camera, and it's very competitive with other high-end smartphones running at that resolution. So a pretty simple interface here. You can tap to focus. It's using the flash for assist there. We have flash control here. We have switch to video mode. And if we want to record video, just tap on the screen and it's starting to record video. You cannot take photos simultaneously while shooting video with Windows Phone 8, not just yet. And then we can go and review our pictures, or in this case, take a look at some more settings here. We're going to look at photo settings. Close-up, night mode, sports mode, automatic. Actually, automatic does a pretty good job here. Sometimes Nokia phones need a little tweaking and they need you to pick some things manually. This one isn't the case. You can change your ISO, exposure value, white balance, aspect ratio, and whether or not you want to use the focus assist light. Handy to be able to turn that off in case you're taking a picture of your baby at nighttime and you don't want to spotlight the poor child. The 4.3-inch display is running at a Mezza 800 by 480 resolution. Typography here in the UI looks just fine, but if you're using the web browser, you can notice, if you have good eyes, some jaggy text. And we'll check out the web browser. This is IE10 Mobile, always capable web browser, much improved over Windows Phone 7 browser. Does desktop layouts very nicely, for example. Plays HTML5 video, no flash video here. And we'll go to our own website so we can see what a desktop site looks like. And this is what our on-screen keyboard looks like. You hear a little bit of auditory feedback that makes typing a little bit easier. And here we've got our full site loaded. There's no problem with the layout whatsoever. You can see colors are very nice and vibrant on this AMOLED display. Scrolling speed is just fine. Zooming speed also pretty good. And the text is really not bad, as you can see here, given the resolution. Just not ultra super sharp. And we'll check out video playback of YouTube video, and this will be HTML5 video since we don't have Adobe Flash. We'll look at our video review of the Nokia Lumia 920. And we're at 2/3 volume. Adequate speakerphone, not super loud. Automatically plays full screen. It's doing fine again. This is over T-Mobile's HSPA Plus network, so good performance there. And you can play your own locally stored video if you want. You can use Netflix with this phone too. It can handle 1080p video playback just fine. However, since the resolution of the phone is so much lower than that, there's not so much of a point, especially because it doesn't have HDMI out. So that's the Nokia Lumia 810. It's available now on T-Mobile in the United States. Certainly a good Windows phone if you can get over the kind of chunky build and the not very light design. It's a lot less expensive than the HTC 8X if you're worried about the upfront price, and you get some cool things like Nokia Drive. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to visit our website for the full review, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.